This program was brought to you by PennyMac TPO. Visit tpo.pennymac.com to learn more about becoming a partner and starting your journey to greatness. With the people, products, and technology to take you there, it's why they say, at PennyMac, greatness lives here.
Welcome to The Interest. I'm Mike Savino. With the Fed meeting next week, we were hoping to see signs that inflation had reached its peak. But today's consumer price index numbers won't help, as the prices went up by 1% in May. That puts inflation in May at 8.6% compared to 2021, the biggest year-to-year jump since December of 1981. And if it feels like you paid more for everything you buy, it's because you probably did, with some staggering increases across the board. Energy prices as a sector rose by 3.9% from a month ago, and for the last 12 months, prices have grown by more than a third. Fuel oil prices post a 17% monthly gain, meaning prices have more than doubled in the last 12 months. You also continue to pay more at the grocery store, as food prices rose by another 1% in May. You're now paying 10% more than last year. And shelter costs rose by 0.5% for the month, the fastest one-month gain since March of 2004. The 5.5% annual gain is the most since February of 1991. This all means workers lost ground in May, with real wages decreasing more than 0.5% from April and 3% on an annual basis. The Fed is expected to discuss raising interest rates when it meets again next week. In other news, home listings fell again as we continue to see less demand among potential buyers. Listings fell by 8% year over year in May, including a 2% drop in new listings. Redfin's report also found signs that buyers are backing away from the high cost of homeownership. Tours fell by 12%, and Google searches for homes for sale were down 10% from earlier this year. That might be why 21% of sellers dropped their prices, the most since Redfin began tracking this data in 2015. Sellers are losing control of the housing market, as homes that are overpriced and or less desirable are increasingly having price reductions and taking longer to sell. Those high prices have been pricing first-time buyers out for a while, but now the luxury market could be reaching its limit too. Luxury home sales fell by nearly 18% in the 3 months ending April 30th, the largest drop since the pandemic started. High-end sales had surged by 80% last year, so the large drop is the first real sign that even the luxury market could be cooling down. The median sale for luxury homes did still go up by almost 20% to $1.15 million over the 3-month span, but that's well below the 27.5% spike we saw last spring. Realtors say the combination of record prices and rising interest rates is becoming an issue even for wealthier buyers. One realtor says a Florida seller had a contract for their $2 million home right in the middle of a March rate hike. The buyers backed out because they realized that their mortgage payment would rise by more than $3,000 per month with the higher interest rates, and they could no longer afford the house comfortably.
This program was brought to you by PennyMac TPO. Visit tpo.pennymac.com to learn more about becoming a partner and starting your journey to greatness.
For more on these and all of today's headlines, go to mortgagenewsnetwork.com.